All right, guys, Luke Miseyko here, and today we are going to cover the I can't afford it objection and how to drop down in a way that you're going to be able to close a sale on pretty much every single presentation that you do. All right, so first of all, when it comes to like handling the I can't afford it objection, the first thing to understand is that that's never really the real reason. If your customer is married, if your customer is over 30, if your customer is a homeowner, here's the deal is they can really afford it if they want to. And here's how I know this is because for me, my personal grocery bill is I'm not a Mac customer. My personal grocery bill is more than a monthly payment on a homemaker plus 8. Quite frankly, their weekly grocery bill, if they're a family, is going to be significantly more than that. They're spending that every single week. It's not just each month, right? Every single customer that you show, I guarantee you that if their refrigerator broke down, they would buy a new refrigerator that same day. Right, and a refrigerator is in the ballpark of $2-3 grand for a lower end one. Sometimes they can get up into the 5 to 10 grand mark. And that's not even like the highest end. So you have to understand that that's never really the real reason, and it's not a question of whether or not they can afford it. It's more, do they want to? And you have to get them to want to with your conviction, your excitement, your enthusiasm in the product. Right. So understand that if you're seeing that a lot, that's usually the main concern. But I want to show you the way to drop down in a way that we can fit Kako into anyone's budget and in a way that you can close sales on pretty much every presentation that you do. All right. So I have 4 keys for you guys today on dropping down the right way. All right. Now, the first key is going to be going really slow. Right. So, the first thing to understand is you have to go super slow because a confused mind always says no. Right. And anytime that you're reading a script, you're actually going a little bit faster out loud than you are in your own head. So I would go a little slower to the point where it almost feels weird how slow you're going, but you have to make sure everything is very clear for the customer. Right. That leads me to my second point is that you have to write down every single price that comes out of your mouth. You've probably heard before that people are either visual or they're auditory learners. But when it comes to numbers, everyone is visual, right? When you say numbers out loud, it just goes in one ear and then out the other. And for me, when I was a brand new rep, I remember it was kind of weird to have customers writing down the prices. But as soon as I did this, my closing ratio skyrocketed dramatically, right? So you have to make sure they write down every number that comes out of your mouth as soon as you're in the closing process, okay? And then the third thing is you have to show every single option with more enthusiasm than the last. So show every single option with more enthusiasm than the last. First of all, everyone has to say no a certain number of times before they say yes. Usually it's in the ballpark of about 3 to 5 times before they say yes. That's why our company average order is where it is, by the way. It's in the ballpark of 3 to 500 for most offices because everyone starts with a homemaker. That's one no, right? Then they get a Galley, right? And then they get a starter set, and then the upper end of a customizable set. And all of those are in the ballpark about $300 to $500. Right now, the problem is if someone says no to the homemaker, then no to the Galley, and then they say, "Oh, honey, do you guys just have pieces?" And you drop down to the pieces, you've only gotten 2 no's out of the way by the time you're at pieces. So it's going to really lower your average order, really lower your closing ratio. So you got to make sure and show them every single option, even if you have to say like, "Oh, Miss Jones, can I do it just for practice?" Right? You got to make sure you show them every step along the way. But you also have to show it to them with increasing enthusiasm. I find a lot of people get really discouraged if they get a no to the homemaker, but you have to understand that they're not saying no to Cutco. They're just saying no to that option, right? I always say expect a yes, but be ready for a no, right? And that leads me to my fourth point, and that is that you have to master the transitions. You have to sell for them rather than to them. So when it comes to the third and fourth point, a good example I like to use is if you go to the BMW dealership and they show you a 7 Series, and you say it's too much, they're not going to go to the 5 Series and be like, here's 5 Series. Yeah, it's all right. It's not as good as 7 Series. Okay, they're going to go to the 7 Series and they're going to be like, hey, do you even have a family? No? Well, you probably don't need a car this big. I think the 5 Series would be perfect for you. And let me tell you, this thing still comes with the heated seats. It still comes with the navigation system. It actually has this much horsepower, right? And XYZ, and they're going to sell them on it, get more excited about that one. So you can't get discouraged as you go down. And the way that you make sure to sell for them rather than to them is by really mastering the transitions. I find the only time that people actually end up feeling a little pushy on the demo is if they don't know how to do this properly and they're just like, "Hey, Miss Jones, here's a homemaker. No, okay, cool. Here's a Galley set. No, okay, cool. Here's starter sets. No, here's more options." Right? And you have to make sure you're transitioning the right way so they know that you're doing it for them. And we just want to find the right option that's best for them. Okay, so let me go ahead and do an example for you guys so you guys can take notes on it. You can even use this as your potential script and go ahead and send your manager your takeaways after you watch this video. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show you the same way that I would show a customer on one of my presentations. I'm going to share my full screen for you guys so that you guys can see how we incorporate the customer portion if you're sharing your screen, but also how you guys can see the script as well. Okay, so we're on the Homemaker page here. It says, Ms. Jones, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask you. Would you like to go ahead and try out the Homemaker set today and get your free gift? All right, let's say she says no. It's like, hey, no problem, Miss Jones. I totally understand. Right now, that part's really important. You have to kind of relieve the pressure. You have to make sure you kind of take down those psychological walls, right? So it's like, hey, Miss Jones, no problem. I totally understand. And here's the first transition for you. It's like, hey, Miss Jones, let me ask you, did you like cacao? Yeah, you did? All right, cool. And if you had it, would you use it? You would? All right, awesome. Well, Ms. Jones, if you don't mind me asking, what is it about the Homemaker you're unsure of? Is it just too many knives, or is it just like a little too much for the budget? All right, it's just a little too much for the budget. Hey, no problem, Ms. Jones. I totally understand. You know, so let me go ahead and show you our next set. It's called our Galley +6 set. We're going to show right here. You got to change the slides on here. All right, now it's your perfect starter set. It'll take care of all of your needs. So as you can see, it has the paring knife for the air, has the trimmer for the small stuff, it has the spatula for sandwiches, a meat knife, it has a serving piece, a veggie chopper, and a bread knife. And it still comes with 6 table knives, Ms. Jones. So it's actually a few less knives for a lot less money. And instead of paying $13.26 for the Homemaker set, Ms. Jones, on your paper, you can go ahead and cross out that $13.26. The Galley +6 set is only, go ahead, write this down, Ms. Jones. Go ahead, write down $9.57. All right, now I want you to go ahead and write down $209, all right, and circle that. That's how much it's going to be per month for 5 months. All right, that comes out to just $52 a week, Ms. Jones. Right now, if you want to go ahead and get the basic Galley without the table knives, right, you can write down without the table knives, Ms. Jones. So the first one's with table knives. Next one's without the table knives. That one's going to be $739. Okay, so write down $739. And then I want you to write down $162 per month, all right, and circle that one. All right, so that's for 5 months, interest free. That one comes out to just about $40 a week, Ms. Jones. Okay. Now, if you get this set today, I can still include the entertainment pack or the super shears for free. So, Ms. Jones, what do you think? You think you can squeeze about $40, $52 a week into your budget? Which one's better for you? All right, still a no? Hey, no problem, Ms. Jones. I totally understand. And here's the thing, Ms. Jones, you know, before I move forward, just understand, you know, please don't mistake my enthusiasm for being rude or pushy. I just really love Cutco, and I think everyone should own it. And I at least want to show you all your options so that we can find you the right set for you. All right. Now, the next sets, they're called our starter sets. You know, they're actually the most purchased because they're the most affordable, and they actually range anywhere from about $25 to $40 a week. So they're really budget friendly, Ms. Jones. Okay. By the way, that was another one of those transition lines. So, you know, the Homemaker to the Galley, you ask, hey, did you like Cutco? If you had it, would you use it? Right. And that gets them saying they like Cutco, they want it, and we're selling for them instead of to them. Right. Then when we go from the Galley down to the starter sets, I always say, all right, hey, Ms. Jones, please don't mistake my enthusiasm for being rude or pushy. I just really love Cutco, and I think everyone should own it. I want to find the right option for you. Now, the next sets, Ms. Jones, they're called our most affordable, or they're actually our most purchased because they're the most affordable, right? And yada, 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 right? But you want to transition the right way, all right? So then, let's say it's still a no to that one. We're going to go down to the starter sets here, all right? It says, so, Ms. Jones, these are our starter sets. They're great for building up over time or gifts for family and friends. And then here in the manual, it just says explain each set. It says, Ms. Jones, this one comes with the very basics. It has the paring knife, the spatula spreader, the turning fork, the petite carver, and the chef knife. Then the Studio +4, Ms. Jones, this is our smallest block set, but it still comes with 4 great pieces. It has the paring knife for the air, the trimmer for the small stuff, that petite carver, that meat knife that you really loved, and it still has that spatula spreader. All right, then it says go to the next slide. So this one. Says, Ms. Jones, these tray sets are great for people who want to keep their knives stored in a drawer. And the all knife set comes with the paring knife, the trimmer, the chef knife, the carving knife, and a spatula spreader. Then the kitchenette set comes with that bread knife, the turning fork, the petite carver, the paring knife, and a trimmer. Okay, so Ms. Jones, out of these starter sets, which combination do you like the best? And I would probably just go back and forth. So which of these combinations do you like the best, Ms. Jones? All right, great. So you like the Essentials +5? Me too, Ms. Jones. All right, so that one actually comes out to, go ahead and write this down, Ms. Jones. So cross out that $957 from before. All right, I want you to write down $164 and circle that. So it actually comes out to $164 a month for 5 months, which includes tax. All right, or you can do it for just like $747 in full. All right, now, Ms. Jones, if you get this set today, I can still give you the super shears for free. So, Ms. Jones, is that something you'd like to go ahead and get today? All right, still no? Hey, no problem, Miss Jones. You can actually, totally understand. You can actually customize your own set. Even with a custom set, you can still break it up over a few months. So let me show you how that works. All right, then you go down to customizable options, make the wish list with them and everything like that. All right, but you have to make sure you master those transitions the right way. All right, now let's say that the customer at some point during that process asks you, hey, honey, can I just buy pieces, right? And that's going to happen on every single presentation that you do, right? I think that your response to this is incredibly important. But a lot of people know how to respond, but they don't understand the body language and the tonality. And the way I like to put it is if anyone ever says, can I buy pieces? First of all, understand that that's a good thing because it means that they're genuinely interested, right? But you have to handle it the right way. So what I like to say is, have you guys ever, seen a dog where the owner talks to them and they have no clue what they're saying? They just kind of cock their head a little bit like that and they're like very confused. I would do the same thing with the customer. You want to act like that is the craziest thing you have ever heard. Make it seem like nobody ever gets pieces because you have to understand when they get pieces, they're getting a good deal or they're getting good value because it's Cutco, but they're not getting the best deal. That'd be like if I went to the BMW dealership, they showed me the 7 Series and the 5 Series and 3 Series, and I kept saying no. And they're like, hey, do you want to go ahead and get a tire? And I was like, yeah, I'll take a BMW tire. Like it doesn't really make sense, right? So, you want to at least show them all their options with the sets, but you have to answer this question the right way, right? And the way that you do that is you have to kind of act shocked at first. So it's like, oh, honey, can I just buy pieces? And I'll be like, can I buy pieces? I mean, you can, but Miss Jones, the sets, they come with the right tool for the right job. They're discounted. They're safer. They actually come with free stuff, and you can put them on the interest-free investment options. So it's a lot more affordable today. So pretty much everyone gets a set. So is it cool if I at least show you all the sets? And if none of them appeal to you, we could totally get your pieces. All right. So it starts off with being shocked, telling them the reasons the sets are better, and being like, hey, can I at least show you all your options? And if none of them appeal to you, then we'll go ahead and get you some pieces, right? So that's the key of how you want to handle when they get pieces. Okay, now if you've gotten already down to pieces, here's another thing that I really like to do is let's say they want a few knives. Let's say they want 3 or 4 knives, right? What I'll do is I'll actually have them write down the price, the full price of those 3 or 4 knives, and then I'll go back up and I'll look at the sets. And let's say she's getting let's say she is getting the carver and the spatula spreader and a trimmer. I would show her the all knife set and I would be like, hey, Ms. Jones, actually, you mind if I at least show you this? If you add all those up, it actually comes out to X amount in full. But if you look at the all knife set, Ms. Jones, it actually comes out to just $115 a month. That comes out to like $29 a week. And you'd actually be spending less money today on the monthly payment option with that one. So are you sure you want to go ahead and get those pieces, or would you rather go ahead and get that all knife set and just put it on the monthly plan? All right. And so that way you can get a lot of customers to go up. Another thing is as you're dropping down and showing pieces, you don't have to do the buy 3, get 1 free, or the buy 5, get a few, the table knives, the super shears free every single time. If I know someone's going to get 4 pieces no matter what, I'm not going to give them buy 3, get 1 free because that's only going to hurt our commission, right? I might tell them, you can actually upsell them from there and tell them, hey, Ms. Jones, we actually have a buy 4, get 1 free, right? So if you just see one more that you like, you can get another one for free. And you can start to use deals and discounts to your advantage. Okay, so guys, that is how to sell every single knife, or that's how to sell on pretty much every single appointment that you do by dropping down the right way. And one last thought is, understand that when customers say, hey, I want to buy later, it usually means they're never going to buy. Even if they have full intention to, most people just forget some of the information as more time goes on. So all the value you've built in the product starts to decrease as the days go by. And eventually, they just know that they're knives, they still got bills to pay, and they don't end up getting in the future. So in that type of situation, you really want to talk about the buy now bonus, and you really want to close a deal today. I would much rather sell 1 knife today than have someone tell me they're going to buy a homemaker in a week, right? And that's, one of the most important times that you want to make sure you're dropping down the right way. So guys, that's how to drop down the right way. Just to review those 4 key points are: number 1, go really slowly because confused mind always says no. Number 2 is make sure that the customer writes down every price that comes out of your mouth. Number 3 is you have to show them all their options with increasing enthusiasm. And number 4 is make sure you master those transitions. All right. Thank you, guys.